morning. I wear this mask because I have a cold. So this is to prevent infecting you. Right. Well, today we will focus on object interaction. Right. Object interaction. And before doing that, we'll continue the issue last week. Right. Last week we talked about state machine. State machine, and we use truth table to describe the outputs of the states. So when we draw a state machine, it depends on the targets. It could be a class, right? An object, instance of a class, right? Or a physical interactive machine. But last time I gave you a different example. There is a traffic light, right? The traffic light, when we look at the states, we are not just looking at one light, right? Because I gave you the intersection. We have main streets and side streets, right? So we give it north, south, east, west. We cannot just look at one side because they will affect the other, all right? So we need to look at them simultaneously. One change will affect the others, right? So since we have two, right, two targets, look at them together, and their change affects each other based on an issue. That's the time, right? So we know the inputs or the trigger is time. Time, we can look at them, right, in a very easier way as a 1 bit. Either it's 0, countdown to 0, or it's counting, they become 1, right? There is 0 and 1. There will be 8 outputs, right? So we know 6 outputs, because even it's green, yellow, and red, but we have 2 sides, north, south, and east, west. So 6 outputs based on time, right? Then we draw the truth table to display the outputs of the state change. Okay, then let's review this. Because we changes to 2 bits, right? So it's a 2 bits. Look at them together, right? So here it could be, we initiated, so stay there. Then when it's going to change, right, flickering, 0, right, so initiate this, all right, we start from this, and then we set the time. So the time tickling. The second stage, right? Because it's 2 bits. The same. Tickling. Okay. So here, and then we go into the third stage. The third stage, 0, 1, 2, third. Then to go to here. The fourth. Taking it down, right, to 0, then counting again. Taking it down. Green, yellow, and red, 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 and green, red. Green to yellow, and then red, red. Green to yellow, and the red remain red, and yellow to red, and red green, and tickling to 0. There's red, and green, yellow. So here, initiate this. It could be reset. Okay. So we use truth table to describe it. And if we wanted to use truth table to describe next step, all right. So for this, what about this? So we know that there are 4 states, right? 4 states. Each state is a combination of both sides, both streets. If we wanted to use choose table to describe it, and let's set it as state. Sub-0, sub-1. We add an issue. Time. Then we add a time. how many combinations of this? How many combination? Colin, how many combination? This. How many? How many? How many combinations? How many of us use microphone, please? Say it.
8,
What are the 8?
2, minus 2, minus 2.
And tell me the answer. List them. What are the 8?
0, 0,
0, 0 what?
0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh.
Okay, and if it says S1 S0 pump as the next state, what is the result? The next state.
0, 0, 0, 1.
Anyone knows that? Go ahead. The next state. Easton,
0, 0,
what's the next state?
0, 0,
0, 0,
0, 1,
0, 1,
1, 0, 1, 0,
1, 0,
0, 1,
0, 1,
1, 1, 1, 1,
1, 1,
1, 0,
1, 0,
0, 0, 0,
0,
0,
0,
1, 1.
1, 1. Perfect. Right. So that's the next state. All right. So we can use truth table to describe next state. The year. S sub 0, F sub 1, right? So we have the states, right? 4, but when we add the time, because time trigger that, the time remain 0, stay there. So always 0, 0, always set the time and time tickering. 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, remain here. 0, 0, 1. It's going to shift to the next state, right? It becomes 1, 0. And 1, 0, it could be 0, 1, right? So each state is 2 bridge, right? So it could be when as it's tickering until the end. Tickerings remain here. The ends go to the next state and tickering again. When tickering again, next, so that is to go to this. When go to 0 to the next state, the same. All right, tickering, and so the truth table can describe next state or the outputs. finish this issue. So now we are going to use an example to describe object interaction modeling. So even though we describe sequence diagram, you know, a couple of times from message sent, different type of message, and how to draw it, right? And today, we'll also look at it. Right? It's the sequence diagram. If you use case tool, it can generate code automatically. So today, then we will just see that. Okay. Today we are going to discuss a function of the library, right? So here, use case 1, check out document. Check out document. It is a use case, right? Use case. So here is the interaction, right? The dialogue between actor and system, library information system. We always said that use case would begin, from the actor, right? And here, you will see that, well, use case is begin from actor. But how come here? You will see that we write a description from the system side. So there are 6 steps here, right? Very brief. The first step, I put it 0, from 0 to 5, right? System display the main GUI. When we talk about what is initiated, right? It doesn't mean that it is triggered. So like some state, right? When we talk about a state diagram, just stay there, right? Like vending machines stay there until user to insert a coin or insert card or do whatever, to choose the choices. The elevator waiting there, right? Should no start. And here, a system, right? A system that is a page. It's a main page that's GUI, home page or whatever it is, a page. But it is not the actor initiated, right? But you can state that system display the main GUI, right? Waiting there until user, right? So the user patron click check out document. It means that check out documents button is one of the components in the GUI, right? So GUI may have different button, right? So you need to design a main page and always stay there until user to click. So it's going to see, go to the library has a main page until user to click. So here, the user pattern, right? Pattern. Click, check out document buttons on the main GUI. So user actor activated. And then system display, check out GUI, right? Dialog, display and pattern. Enter code numbers of documents to be checked out. And click submit button. After this, the system displays a checkout message showing the detail. In the end, right? The use case ends with patrons see the checkout message. Right. It sounds very easy and use very brief statement to describe it. But is that so? Probably not. Right. So, Ian, which one you think is a very complex step? Which one? Which step you think is complex? Very complex? Processing?
Oh, is for
For
uh
why?
because well 等我一下，因为要让赞助人知道他显示的讯息，然后它也是最个别化的、个人化的。
Okay, right. So we know that you're the number 4, right? The number 4, this one is very complex actually. Even we describe it briefly, right? So the description looks very brief, but they are not the same complexity level, right? So yeah, so some could be very straightforward and very easy, like the system display something, right? Display, or user enter something, right? Quite specifically, so it's quite trivial. But for this, right? We call this non-trivial, right? Non-trivial. None means not that tiny. So it involves a lot of processing, right? So it's a non-trivial step. So here we can see checkouts use very brief description, but actually there are a lot of interaction. So now we look at it. It's a non-trivial step, right? So let's take a look. It's this one. Right. A sequence diagram we can draw it, with analysis way. It's a phase. It's an analysis. Then we can draw it not executable, but provides a picture, right? So analysis and design, they are different, right? So if you are an expert, you can draw it, directly by using design way. But here, this is a design, right? If you can see, like data type, right? Data type or a parameter and like method that's go to design. But if it's still analysis, then you're going to see pattern, right? Talk with librarian, that's right. So librarian to serve patron. But in reality, the system, the patron will check a book, right? Check a book, that's probably using automatic machine, that's an automatic checkout machine. We can wanted to check out book from home, right? So here they become a GUI, right? So the patron here is a code number, right? Code number is a number, right? Not just number. That's a combination. It's a combination of classification number, book as a classification. So classification number plus author number, and it's a lot of things to make this number unique. So a code number can identify a specific book that would different from others, right? So this a patron give a code number or enter a code number, or probably a voice. So whatever as a receiver, this receiver is a GUI, right? GUI receive a code number, so here code number is a book. And then you can see that, well, this is GUI. So a GUI is a boundary. This boundary provides a view. It's very important, right? So provide a view. Without a view, the patron cannot do anything, right? So provide a view, and this view is a GUI. Gets the code number, right? Code number, and it will be called, right? Because not just hold it. We can see that passes to a controller. So we have a view, and we have a controller. Then you're expecting we're going to have a model. It's an MVC model. Right. So we have view, then we have a controller. It's controller to coordinate, because gets the code number from the view. The view is a GUI. So we get code number, right? So check out. So checkout GUI is going to call the method of checkout controller. And the checkout controller has a method checkout. And this checkout need to have code number. So code number, the type is string, right? It's code number. And the return is a message. And then checkout controller is going to process the matching, right? To see that the library have the book based on the code number. So we are going to have documents, right? A collection. And a collection that we know that we have the book. Right. And checkout controller, here you are going to see DB manager, right? There is a DB manager, right? We can see that checkout controller ask DB manager get document based on the code number, right? So DB manager has this method get documents, right? what is it? Get the code number from document, right? So the data type here, document, right? So DB manager has a method get document, right? So it means that DB manager, need to use document. So we have a document, right? So you can see that checkout controller and DB manager, right? Are going to use document because checkout controller can also do this without DB manager. But here we have DB manager, right? So as DB manager, get document. The DB manager, okay, communicates with documents, right? So DB manager need to do it. And here, you can see alternates, right? So alternates is the condition, right? So we wanted to know that does the library has the documents? If it has, that means the library has the document. So, see, document not null. Yes, we do have the documents not null. If the library has the document, it doesn't mean that the document is available. Even the library has the document, it doesn't mean you can check them out. So available or unavailable, right? It means that if the library has the document, it doesn't mean it is available. What does it mean? What does it mean that the library has the document and we cannot check out? Is it possible that the library has the document we cannot check out? Any situation you can think of? Let's answer. Answer my question.
Can I repeat it? Sorry.
Library has the document, but we cannot check out. Is this possible?
Possible.
You can tell me what situation that the library has it, but we cannot check out.
是没人没有去过那个 library。
啊？
那个人没有去过那个 library，所以没有那个记录。
If you wanted to check out a book, and then you enter code number, right? But you cannot check out. The library has the document. It says the document is not null, right? The library has the document. But it says has a document. It could be available or not available. You can check out, or probably cannot check out.
被借走吗？
Okay.
被借走了。
Okay. If it's already taken out, so you cannot check out, all right? Then it is unavailable, right? And what situation you can pick up? Yeah, it could be checked out, all right? So the library has the book, but it's already checked out,
Yeah.
so you cannot check.
Yeah.
And what other situation?
被借走。没有，他被借走了。不能借的。我不知道。
The card is been locked. we can use the card to borrow the book, the document,
We cannot use the card.
because it's been banned or locked.
Oh, okay. All right. Why? Why is that?
And maybe we do something that we can, it's not follow the rules.
Okay. Yeah. It's a possible. Yeah. That's a good reason. That the library has a book, but the library just cannot, let you take away, because you know it's not because you were caught, right? Because you had a penalty that maybe you hold some book that's already overdue, right? So you still hold some book it's overdue, and based on a policy, you cannot check a book, right? So that's possibility, and Henry.
One of the situation is these documents doesn't public. It's privacy documents, so you cannot book these documents to check out.
Say it again, please. Pardon me. Pardon me. Say it again, please.
These documents is not public. It's
Not
private
public.
document. Just like you can just check. You can just check these documents in the libraries. You cannot check out these documents to.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible. All right. So could be, but it says not public.
It's just like 有些论文不能只能在这里观，有些书是只能在这边观看的，不能借走。
Okay. So some document, you can only circulate it in the library, right? Not outside. You cannot check outside. Yeah. Bridger, what else?
My thought is the same as
Same.
Harry, because some book just is only available in the library. They cannot be borrowed.
Okay.
My thought is the same as Harry.
Okay. So some documents, only can be kept in the library. Right? It could be, for some periods, it's on hold for reservation, reserve, put it on reserve shelf, all right? So we cannot check out, right? Right, so that's the situation, yes. And what else we cannot check a book. Any situation you can think of.
If there's some books or documents that is only available for the professors or teachers, and the students are not allowed to borrow it.
Oh, okay. So probably, yeah. Probably some maybe reserved for, some types of pattern, right? And for the others cannot, right? But that's okay. Well, you can think of different kinds of situation that a book, came to the library, and the library has the bibliography, right? Bibliography. So then you can check, the library has a book, right? But you can see that the situation probably under cataloging, right? Under cataloging, that means the book, doesn't mean hasn't been ready. I mean, hasn't been ready under cataloging, right? Or it could be, you can see the state. What is it is? A book has its state, right? So yes, we do have a book. The library has a book, but that book, you know, hasn't been ready yet. Or a book, you know, has been set as a reference for a semester, then that semester cannot be circulated, right? You can only go to the library, you know, to read it, but you cannot check them out. So you're going to see the states. So if book available, right, or available, unavailable, or the book, right, it's already checked out. Even the library has the book, but it's already checked out, right? You cannot check out again, right? So the states, what about the state change? Somebody return, right? So return, then it become available. So now, you see what I mean? That's a book. That is an instance, not a whole collection, right? A book has its states, right? So what is available? So available that's in the library, right? Unavailable, library has the book, right? Unavailable, what does it mean, unavailable? So like always, you know, unavailable, yeah. If it's cataloging, under cataloging, unavailable, right? So always in this state, right? It's already checked out, unavailable until return, right? So unavailable, available, you know, it's going to, you know, back and forth. Or if the book is lost, right? And somebody claimed that I cannot find the book in the library for, you know, whole months, I cannot find it. And the library eventually find out, well, the book probably lost. So it's going to enter the book is lost. So unavailable, right? So lost is unavailable. So that is a lot of situation. So that situation will go to the cell, unavailable. So now you know that state machine can tell you, you know, the situation, right? So steps, right? So here, document nowhere. Yes, this has the book. So is available. So check the document. Yeah, it is available, right? Available. Then, yeah, available can check out, right? Check out, create title, and with the combination of the documents, then that is a long, right? Because different patron has different periods, right? Different professors are longer, right? Periods, the students are shorter, so patron will be different, right? And stable result, right? So stable result ends the DB manager, and then since this book is checked out, so as document, well, you got to set this as unavailable. Changes available, unavailable. But of course, when you describe it, and your design will make it automatically, right? From this state to the next state, from available to unavailable, right? So when it's check out, it become unavailable. So the next one wanted to check out the same book. we have the book, but it is unavailable. So become else, right? Unavailable. So has a book, but a book, it's already set as unavailable.